Folks, there'll be no criminal charges related to the February shooting of Amir Locke, who was shot and killed while Minneapolis police were executing a no-knock search warrant. The Hennepin County Attorney, District Attorney Michael Freeman, and Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison released the findings earlier today. This is the reason why Freeman and Ellison said Officer Mark Hanneman will not be charged after a thorough review of all available evidence. However, there is insufficient admissible evidence to file criminal charges in this case. Specifically, the state would be unable to disprove beyond a reasonable doubt any of the elements of Minnesota's use of deadly force statute that authorizes the use of force by Officer Hanneman. Nor would the state be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt a criminal charge against any other officer involved in decision-making that led to the death of Amir Locke. Amir Locke is dead. Amir Locke was simply sleeping on the couch when cops burst into the apartment and shot and killed him. Karen Wells, the mother of Amir Locke, says she is not disappointed but disgusted by today's decision.
If you had time to kick a couch 2 times, not one, but twice, you had time to de-escalate the situation of my melanin black son.
My Lord.
Now, you're going to have to deal with me. I've never been Minnesota nice, and I'm not from Minnesota. And I said that from the first day that I stepped soil on that city. I am not Minnesota nice. You got something different right here. I'm from a different state. We stand up. We speak up. This is who his mother is. I'm not going nowhere.
On Tuesday, the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry, placed a permanent ban on no-knock warrants for the local police department. That policy takes effect Friday, April 8th. Jeffrey Storms is the attorney representing the Locke family. He joins us from Minneapolis. Jeffrey, so what? A guy dies and it's nobody's fault? Nobody's held accountable? This mother has to deal with the grief? Like, literally, a man is dead.
It's one of those it's hard to form words, Roland. I mean, if you look at this report, it's like 40 pages that says this was really tragic and it shouldn't have happened, but no one's to blame. The ether is to blame, the air is to blame, it's policies. And it's very, very disheartening and enraging. I don't know how we can look at people of color in this country and tell them, hey, the constitutional amendments apply to you. You can lawfully have a gun. You can lawfully be safe from unreasonable searches and seizures. I mean, a young man couldn't lawfully possess a gun while sleeping on his own couch and couldn't even be given so much as 10 seconds to wake up and understand what was happening. And so, yeah, you'll probably see statements for us where we talk about disappointed. But Karen's words, I think, are very true and speak louder to how she's really feeling right now.
But this is the BS that we often talk about, how the law is with cops in so many ways, and it's as if, sorry, he's dead, next.
Well, yeah, think about the times that young black men have been charged with crimes in this country on flimsy evidence, right? And now we look at 40 pages of a report and a hired expert, all to basically say, hey, we don't think we can overcome issues with an affirmative defense. And the number of people of color who have stood in front of a jury on flimsier evidence on this are legion. And it's really hard to look at our brothers and sisters of color and tell them that this makes a lot of sense.
What is next? What is next for the family, for the attorneys?
And we're ready to fight, Roland. I mean, you heard it from Karen, right? And the family's energy and determination is going to, help push us and guide us. The resolve deepened today. Criminal justice is one part of it, and it's an important part of it. But, between, Attorney Crump and myself and Attorney Romanucci, we've collectively done this for 60 or 70 years, and no criminal charges is business as usual. We shouldn't become complacent with the handful of charges there have been. And that's why civil rights lawyers exist in this country, to push for civil remedies, monetary, but also non-monetary, to ensure that there are real policies in place that are implemented. There's real training to continue to push for local and national legislation. And so people like Amir can do something as simple as sleep without fear of being shot by law enforcement. So the family and the legal team, is ready to keep on pushing as hard as we possibly can.
Jeffrey Storms, we appreciate it. Certainly keep us abreast of what happens next with the family in this case.
Thank you, Roland.
I want to bring in my panel, A. Scott Bolden. He's the former chair, National Bar Association Political Action Committee. He's attorney here in Washington, D.C. Tanya Washington Hicks, professor, Georgia State University College of Law. Monique Presley, a legal analyst and crisis manager. Glad to have all three of you here. Clearly, Scott, Attorney General Keith Ellison looked through the law as much as he could to find something here. They simply could not figure out what to charge these cops with. But it says a hell of a whole lot that when these police are using these no-knock warrants, busting into apartments, shoot and kill this young man who's sleeping on the couch, who's lawfully possessing a gun. Basically, what this is saying to black people, yo, you ain't got no Second Amendment rights.
Roland, I got to tell you, I got a lot of trust in Keith Ellison, one. Two, as a former prosecutor, I've reviewed these types of cases. And I got to tell you, under Minnesota law, the law allows the police officers, whether it's a no-knock warrant or not, if they didn't have a no-knock warrant and went in, he had a gun. He was under the covers. They may have just woken him up. He may not have known what he was dealing with. He could legally possess that gun. But in that circumstance, once they see the gun, once he pulls it out, once he points it at the ground, whether he points it at them, the police, in their judgment, have the right to fire. This is a clean one. It's unfortunate. It is a tragedy.
But Scott,
this is a clean shoot right here.
But Scott, hold on, Scott. Scott, hold on.
I can accept
Scott, hold on.
But he had a gun.
Scott, hold on. Scott, hold on. First of all, we have the video. Now, roll the video. At no point does he point the gun at cops. Wait. I'm not reading a report. My eyes. Roll video, guys. You see the video. Scott, hold on. You see the video. First of all, y'all, fix that audio. I don't know what the hell was going on there while I was in slow motion. You see the video there. They come in. Dude's under the covers.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I see hold up. I see flashlights, and literally, it's not even 2 seconds. But it's like, boom, covers come up, pop out.
Yeah, but look, the covers came up, right? They see the gun, whether it's pointed at them or not, they see it. And now remember what the police are there for. It's a high-intensity warrant for murder, right? And the report also says that the people they're looking for are armed and dangerous. So when they go into that apartment, they're looking for people, they're looking for guns, and it is the most dangerous high alert they're at when they go in. Now, when they see that gun, they see an individual. They don't know who he is, but they see the gun wherever it's being pointed. I doubt Amir even knew what was going on because he was sleeping, and it's really tragic. But once they see the gun, right, and they tell him to drop it, they don't give him enough time to drop it, whether he lawfully owns it or not, and they fire. Okay? Can you file criminal charges against the police in that circumstance, in that tragedy? No, you cannot, at least not under Minnesota law.
The thing,
that's the legal deal. That's the legal deal, and it's not going to change.
The thing here, Monique, is they were executing a no-knock warrant, and the other police department didn't want that. They insisted on this. Had they followed the St. Paul Police Department, there would not have been a no-knock warrant. But they pursued it themselves to say, oh, we'll help y'all, and we're going to do it with a no-knock warrant.
Okay.
I mean, this is...
I know what that,
so we're left with...
Scott just said.
Go ahead.
It doesn't negate anything that Scott just said.
I can't hear you.
I couldn't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Say it one more.
Oh, why? I don't know.
Okay, now
there you go.
Now go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. I said it doesn't negate anything that Scott just said. I agree with you, and it is unfortunate. It's tragic. It's terrible. But what you said when you were speaking to the one family attorney, to me, is it's I don't know how else to say it except for one thing does not lead to another. You said, I mean, a man is dead.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, your phone is breaking.
Watching, and certainly those of us who are here on your panel, know just because someone is dead doesn't mean that a crime has been committed, that it has to be run through the law. There has to be a determination made about what the charges are. And I agree with Scott in this analysis. And I have great respect to the lawyers who were involved. I'm sure that they will bring a wrongful death case. I'm sure that it will be successful. They've already cured the no-knock warrant issue that should have happened before. But again, that's not criminal.
Well,
that's civil.
But Tanya, when Monique says one thing doesn't lead to another, actually it does. And this is precisely why you cannot have no-knock warrants. This is precisely why if you're trying to apprehend somebody, it can't be this. You don't know who's on the other side of that door. I totally get homicide investigation. I totally get all of that. But the reality is there's a dead person who was innocent, who was not involved in any of this on the other side of that door. And if you do not have this no-knock warrant, they're not going into the apartment. The man is not sleeping, and he's not shot and killed under a blanket.
Well, I'm glad the policy finally changed. Unfortunately, it changed too late for Mr. Locke. No-knock warrants were created to deal with drug enforcement, to ensure that people didn't destroy the drugs that the police were trying to capture. But they're being used in too many instances in circumstances that result in dead Black people. And I'm sure it rings hollow to the family to hear that this is tragic and unfortunate. That doesn't bring her child back. And I think the question we need to ask is that if people can be held harmless under the current law, what do we need to change the law to be so that these kinds of actions are considered criminal and treated as such?
This is where there has to be a pursuit to change policies, procedures, and the law, Scott, Monique, and Tanya, because I keep saying this, death is death. Ain't no coming back from it. And the reality is, if you did not have a no-knock warrant, if you had a different situation here, this young man is not dead. And so, I'm not done. I'm not done. We can talk about, well, police and in terms of all the other things here. But again, we want the bad guys captured, not somebody who's innocent who ends up dead caught in the crossfire of this. And that's why when you had Nakima Levy Armstrong, who confronted the police chief and the mayor at the news conference and said, we told y'all to ban these long ago. We told you to ban these no-knock warrants before. Now you're going to do it after the fact, and another black man is dead.
But
what does that have to do with
why is Amir
Hanneman? What does it have to do with charging Hanneman? What should he have been charged with because of this failing of the city? What is the point in outrage over a police officer doing what was lawful that he was ordered to do under?
Because the outrage is somebody's dead.
But you can't charge
the outrage
because somebody
about
dead.
the wrong man.
The outrage is somebody is dead.
Be at somebody. Okay, but do you want the wrong person charged? Does it matter whether it's
What I want is for police officers not to continue to kill black people, and in this case, when people are yelling, oh, Second Amendment rights for your protection, what it also says is, black people, don't buy a gun, don't have a gun yourself, because even if you have a gun and you lawfully have a gun, you can still end up dead by having a gun.
Let me add a few points.
If they pulled their gun, they wouldn't be arrested if they had lived, because they would have had a right to use their gun in that situation. But if any person, white or black, pulls their revolver on an officer under the current law, as Scott already explained, the shooting, they're not going to be able to bring charges for. And that is the misfortune and the tragedy of the state of the law. But what I asked you is why we are justified in being outraged about Hanneman not being charged when the law plainly says that he should not be.
Because, again, there's a thing called just law and unjust. Scott, go ahead.
Here's the deal. And I'm not blaming the victim. Let me tell you about no-knock warrants. If you didn't have a no-knock warrant, they'd knock, announce that they were the police. If that door doesn't get answered right away, they kicking the door in, and Amir is there with a gun. That doesn't necessarily mean he wouldn't get shot if they come in after they've knocked and nobody's answered.
What it does mean, though, if they did knock, he potentially could have been awakened and hearing, hey, police, that what could have happened.
And then what? He still got the gun?
No, because if he hears police, and then all of a sudden allow me to finish. If I hear police and now I hear that, yeah, I might not grab the gun. But if I'm sleeping on a couch, if I got covers over my head, and all of a sudden a door opens, I don't even hear anybody walk in, and next all of a sudden I see flashlights, I don't know who the hell's in here. We had the brother on the show from Florida. When the cops bust in, same thing, no-knock warrant. The guy fires a warning shot in the air and fires a shot at the officers. He don't know who the hell is busting down his damn door. We got home invasions all over the country. You don't know who's busted in your door.
They were in uniform and they announced that they were the police. Stop it, Roland.
Hold on 1 second. Hold up.
Why is he on
Wait. Hold that point, Scott. Scott, hold that point. Run the video.
Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Hands! Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground!
7 seconds. Matter of fact, run it again.
Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Hands! Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground!
7 seconds. 7 seconds. 3 shots fired. He's dead in 7 seconds.
They had their guns out. They had their flashlights out. They said, police, search warrant. He starts moving undercover.
He's asleep.
Okay, but they don't know what they have. They're looking for people who committed a murder.
He don't know what the hell is going on.
Dangerous. They're armed. That's That's what they're looking for.
Scott,
they gave him 10 seconds.
So what you're saying, hold on, Scott. So what you're saying, Scott, hold on, Scott. What you're saying is, if you're asleep, if Scott Bolden is asleep, and all of a sudden, folks bust into your bedroom, lights, and awake you, and your gun's right here, what's gonna be the first thing you're gonna do?
No. His gun was under the cover, and when he showed it,
I'm asking you, Scott. I'm asking you, Scott.
You're gonna get shot.
Scott, I'm asking you.
Legally shoot you.
No, Scott, I'm asking you. Scott Bolden is asleep. Scott Bolden is asleep.
Come on, man.
His gun is under his pillow. Covers are over his head.
Under his pillow?
Scott, let me finish. You sleep. Covers over your head. Gun is right next to you. Bust into your bedroom. Wake you up. What's going to be your first reaction?
My first reaction is, what the hell is going on? But I ain't in an apartment with some alleged murderers.
That's your first reaction?
I'm not sleeping with a gun under my cover.
Scott.
I don't sleep with a gun under my cover.
Scott, guess what?
I'm not sleeping where there's some alleged murderers there and the police are looking for them.
Scott,
it's
a whole
unfortunate.
Bunch of people. I know
wrong place at the wrong time. Why has he got the gun?
I know a whole bunch of people.
But for the gun?
Scott, I know a bunch of people.
He would probably still be alive.
I know a bunch of people who grew up with me in Clinton Park, who grew up in 3rd Ward in Houston, people in Chicago who deal with home invasions, gun right next to them. Tanya, go ahead and weigh in.
I was going to say that there are a lot of people who sleep with their gun in proximity to them, including in the bed. The Second Amendment allows that. The gun, he was a licensed...
Not in every jurisdiction. In most jurisdictions, you got to have it unloaded, and you can keep them separate.
May I finish, please?
Yes, go right ahead. I'm sorry.
I think it's important for us to consider that even if he didn't have a gun, I'm not sure he would have survived that. Because he could have had anything, any of the things that police somehow see and perceive to be a weapon when they bust in under these circumstances. And so I think the outrage is that this keeps happening, and as unfortunate as we characterize it as, it continues to be excused. That's the outrage.
Monique?
But we can't afford to make it about if the facts had been different than this, it likely would have been the same. I understand why others would want to do that, but my obligation is to say that on these facts, as a legal analyst, what the Attorney General did and what the state's attorney did was evaluate the evidence that is known to them. If more facts become available and come forward that somehow change what happened, if some intent surfaces for one of those officers, if one of them insisted on a no-knock warrant for a house where they knew the suspect was not present, anything like that changes, we're looking at a different factual scenario and therefore different legal analysis. But on these facts, what is clear is that the no-knock warrant was a problem. It was the determining factor, that he did have a right to have his gun and that he did what any law-abiding citizen living in perhaps that neighborhood and that apartment would have done and reached for his weapon. And what is also clear is that when someone does that, under the law, when it's an officer, they have a right to shoot to protect themselves or others.
And
so
others.
If we want that to change, then we need the facts to change and the law to change. It is not about the fact that this is traumatic and unjust. We know that, and we know that we die more than anybody else because of it. So the answer then is not to charge Hanneman, who did the shooting. He's not the one who perpetuated the criminal act. The criminal actors are the city for maintaining no-knock warrants. And even that is not criminal because it was not against the law. So the law has now been changed and this death was wrongful and that will be answered. And unfortunately, that is like the balls and strikes of it, of where we are. And so I don't want people being upset thinking that they reached the wrong decision. In my opinion, based on what I know of the facts, from what I've read, and from the conversations that I have had with counsel who are involved with the case, this was the only decision on those facts.
And this is precisely why laws need to be changed, policies need to be changed, because at the end of the day, Amir is dead. and the family can never bring him. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?